If fate frowns, we all perish. Welcome to Penumbra Overture. What seems to be episode 1. I haven't played any of these episodes so far. It's by Frictional Games. I've played Amnesia to the Dark Descent. I finished that game. It was a mixed bag. Some of it I liked, some of it I didn't. This is the first game made by Frictional Games, as far as I understand, and from what little I've played it, I understand it's very similar to Amnesia in terms of gameplay, which again was kind of a mixed bag for me. But playing Amnesia, I didn't hate it. I had a good time playing it. And I thought, let's go back to the roots, let's go back to the first game. See how it holds up today. This came out in 2007. I've known about the game for probably over a decade now, and I've been meaning to play it for the longest time, but it wasn't until now that I really got the spark for it. So I just want to point out that I had played this game a little before, about an hour or so. This is not a first playthrough, but I'm looking to make some progress beyond the point where I made it last time. Speaking of Frictional Games, they also released Soma in 2015, a game I really enjoyed. I think it was a diamond in the rough. It was not perfect, but I really liked it. I liked it story-wise. What do you figure this guy... that looks like a mask. To me, that looks like a mask. What do you reckon he's wearing a mask? None of these other... I guess it could be a ritual funeral, where, you know, masks go, as far as I'm concerned, especially in a horror setting. But wait, dude, none of the other people have masks. I guess this guy might have one. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing how this game holds up by today's standards. It's obviously going to look a little dated today. It came back in again, it was released in 2007. It's been a little while. We're gonna go with normal, I think. Show crosshair. I think we're gonna go with off for now. Flashing items on. You know what? From what little I've played Amnesia and from what little I've played this, we want that to be on. Add personal notes. Yes. I already tweaked with all the other controls, basically. And with that, we're left with the patter in the rain of the funeral of her father, whom we never knew, apparently. So, let's start a new game. Again, I could probably do hard, but for right now, I think I'm gonna go with normal. You never know with horror games. My story began in February, year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world-renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever taken. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Finally, we're almost docked. I'd better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick up things using left mouse, and I can take a closer look at things using right mouse. Wink wink, nudge nudge, if you know what I mean. Alright, so one thing I'm going to point out right from the beginning in that cutscene, writing from beyond the grave looks to be passed down in our bloodline? Really? Did we just prophesize our own death? Or is that a known thing? Is that a known thing in our family? Is our family actually known for writing from beyond the grave? Is something I'd like to get an answer to during this session. That's what I'm basically looking for here. Beyond that, okay, we're on a boat. I guess we're going to northern Greenland. We have a Jake Annuals here, some Tennessee whiskey. We're gonna smash things by throwing them. We have a map showing us the Hayes Peninsula, Greenwell Lake. Kind of hard to see what it says. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty good idea of where I'm heading. Alright. So, the second thing about that beginning cutscene is the thing that the father urged us to burn the documents because he knew I was coming. So if he knew that, and if he knew of the family curse, why not burn the thing? Why just not burn the thing if you know what's going to happen? Why not burn it yourself? Have some backbone. Don't just toss it over generations. Okay, so that's enough of that. We're in a cabin. We have a picture of a fish. I don't know what that says. I think it says Bean Kiss Fob Melon System. And showing us a variety of fish, which range from 0.2 to 10 hours. All of these fish range from 0.2 to 10 hours. What else do we have? Pretty odorous. Glad I'm getting out of here soon. They must eat and sleep and, well, do everything else in this room for weeks at a time. Really? In this one room? Do all of it in here? Do I want to know what's in that bucket? We have soup. I'm not sure what soup that is. It's Uncle Tulu's squid soup. Squid soup. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, so let's just take it all in. Let's take it all in. This fog closed in on us almost as soon as we left port. Haven't seen any landmarks for ages now. I don't know how they're managing to navigate. I'd be as good as lost at sea if I was on my own. Not a thought worth thinking. Also, yeah, I know, my British accent is impeccable. Always good to have a notebook to jot down interesting information and reminders. I think I left my torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It can be opened using my left mouse on it, holding the button down and moving the mouse. Yeah, this is basically, this is Amnesia, has Amnesia written all over it. It's very similar to that in gameplay. The flashlight switches on and off via the inventory, or hopefully via the shortcut key. I think if that's an early dev node, like maybe at one time it did work out. Now, where's that emergency glow stick? Should still be in the locker. Keys in my inventory. Alright. So we got a torch, or flashlight, whichever you prefer. Gonna equip that. We don't have to equip it, we can just press F and it works. So, let's use that key on the padlock. Actually, let's examine the padlock first, see if it says anything. Always travel with a padlock, and a key, preferably. Mine's in the inventory. Let's use it. Good thing I have my torch at hand. This country seems to exist in a permanent state of twilight. Could come in handy if the torch runs out of batteries. I should be able to access it through my inventory or with the shortcut key. It should be everything I need. I want to get going before dark. You know, yeah, let's grab some extra batteries to power up our flashlight or torch. Let's have a look at these pictures here. Playboy poster. It's nice some things don't change no matter how far you are from home. Yeah, it's just like home, having a Playboy poster above your bed. A photo of the fisherman's wife. She's no Playboy bunny, but she looks loving and kind. I don't know if that's our thoughts or if we just like made the assumption that maybe this guy likes Playboy bunnies. I'm not sure which it is. We can open that up. There's another bottle of good old Jackie E. And a letter. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail to leave me once again. I left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. Oh. I guess sorry about that. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen to come upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. We got the fisherman's wife's love letter, and this is something I just gotta point out. We just took the captain's wife's love letter out of his chest. Clearly it's his chest. It said, it noted in the letter it's his chest. We took it out of there, we read it, and we kept it. Just something to think on. Anyway, I'm not sure if there's anything else here to actually take a look at. From the smell, I'd say there's an equal chance they use this chest for personal belongings or bait. You know, those personal belongings that we just took? The whiskey we smashed against the wall? And the love letter that we have no business taking, I think. Can we say something about that? Is that the bucket that, you know, you do your personal business in? I guess not. One thing I gotta say, I still love ragdoll physics. I know they're probably passé by now. They're not passé. They're old. Nobody pays attention to them, but I can't get it off of this. Anyway, now that we've gotten our belongings and stolen the mail, let's head out. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and knew hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. We were coming to northern Greenland, and apparently we didn't, dress properly for the occasion. So cold, don't know where I am, need shelter soon. Yeah, I don't think this was a good idea. My entire head went numb a long time ago, but I can still hear the wind roaring past. Or is that some kind of animal? I didn't get to read that in time. It faded away too fast. I don't know what I was gonna say. Something about an animal. So here we are in beautiful northern Greenland, just looking for our past. Isn't that what it said? We're looking into our past, something to that effect. in the hell is that? I don't care. I need shelter. Looks frozen shut. Need something to break in. We've also jotted down a note just in case, you know. We wrote that down with our in our notebook. We wrote that down. We took the time to write that down, even though we're on the verge of hypothermia. So we should be able to turn this, but of course it's frozen shut. Nothing we can do. Nothing we can do about that. Because we also didn't bring any tools whatsoever. If I click and hold the interact button, I should just about manage to pick up that rock. The cold's made me weak, but I can still throw things using my examining button. Yep, that's the thing we can do. We can take things, we can throw them. We already know this. We tossed the whiskey. We tossed a couple of whiskey bottles. So how do you take care of frozen ice in a situation like this? Like that. I hope to God it's not frozen inside as well. It's so weak, but if I just use the interact mode, I should be able to turn it. So we need to press R to go to interact mode. Then turn this. Turn interact mode off, and then lift it. It's a little convoluted, I think. It's kind of unnecessary. There we go. Okay, time to head to the shelter, which was conveniently right here, in the middle of the glacier. Let's go. Jesus, my head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived, although looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? I should have known that rusty old ladder wouldn't hold my weight, but I didn't have any choice. I'd rather die down here than suffer that cold any longer. Yeah, I think that was a good call. I probably would have made the same call. If I was on the verge of hypothermia, I'd probably take the weird bunker door. Can't really interact with that. But we can track barrels. That's important knowledge. Empty boxes of ammunition. What is this place? It's pretty clear. Found a survivalist's nest. Got a flare. Got another flare. And yeah, you'd think this is just a normal pipe, but yeah, it's important. We gotta pick it up. It's a steel rod. A steel rod. A metal rod. That's all I needed to know. Open the door. More boxes of ammunition. A heavy-looking wooden barrel. Could be anything inside it. We can't find out what's inside it. Let's see. If I swing this hammer, if I hold left mouse, I can make a backswing by pulling the mouse right and then follow through by pushing left. The opposite works too. Pulling back and then thrusting forward produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold down right mouse after the backswing, I should be able to look around. Okay, I like that we can stab with a hammer. This hammer's seen some action in its time. It's gotta see some more action. Basic wooden door. So yeah, you just kind of take your mouse left or right and then swing it the other way, and that'll do that. If you pull it back and then thrust it forward, you get a kind of a battering ram effect here. Oh, can I grab that? What we got? Belief with beans and potatoes. No, that's not what it says. I don't know what that says. It's too low res. A metal shelf. This wooden shelf slowly falling apart. Well, the first time I played, I figured, I'll break it down. Let's smash it down. It doesn't work. What we can do is just toss that thing aside. Oh. There we go. Just drag it out of there. This hole's been boarded up a long time. The wood looks pretty soft now. So, yep, obviously. Stop. Oh. Hammer time. Okay, before moving on, just gonna look around a little more. There's a flare. Please let me grab that. Okay, so I had this problem before. I had this exact problem before when I first played this. I could not pick up that flare for the life of me. And I tried clicking the interact button on and off. Maybe it has something to do with that, but again, we're facing the same problem. It's not very clear what I'm supposed to do. I don't think I maxed out at 2 flares. It just doesn't give me the hand symbol. Maybe oh, yep, there we go. We need to have one hand free in order to pick something up. Okay, so now we know that. That's good information. It's stuck. Must be something in the way. I don't think there's anything else in here, so... Further down the rabbit hole we go. That was spooky. This hatch is seriously solid. It won't open by hand. Someone obviously wanted to keep people out. Or in. No, you can't smash it with a hammer. I tried. I did try that. No wonder I couldn't open the door. There's a barrel in the way. Let's take care of that. And open this up. It serves no purpose, but we now have a shortcut. This looks like some kind of industrial mechanism, although there's a hole in the center and no way to operate it. Well, at first I thought this would be a crank, but it's the metal rod we picked up earlier. Just put that there. Turn this thing. And off we go. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. Okay, we didn't have fun time at school, it turns out. I don't know why he's bring it up now, but we jotted a note. The entrance to the cave has caved in. There must be another way out. There could be anything living down here. Heroics are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'd be best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know I've got it right because of the blue tint to my vision. Yeah, that's how it works in real life as well. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something is right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources, though. My best bet is to hide for a couple of seconds or so, perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. What are we hiding from? What exactly are we hiding from, and why are we assuming anything could be down here? Why would we ever assume that a forgotten bunker in northern Greenland would actually have anything living down inside it? That kind of does break the immersion a little, but at the same time I sort of like it. Not as heavy as it looks. Still, it should serve as some sort of weapon if I have to defend myself. Can we pick that up? Can we actually use that as a weapon? Maybe toss it at an enemy or something? A wooden box. Can we move that? We are here. The office is to the left, or to the west. We got explosives, northern area, workshop, and storage. Okay, we got places to look. Running a little low on battery power. I guess we can light up a flare. Use that. It's not like it's gonna attract any unwanted attention. This place must be old if they were still using paraffin lamps. Looks like there's still some juice left. Because again, I know my British accent is impeccable. Same thing as with the last one. I want to see the office. I want to see what an office in a mine looks like. That's the way to a workshop. Let's see what's... just map out a little bit. Storage room, workshop. There's a map. Okay, we are... I assume this is the door to the explosives. No, that's not it. That's the mail we stole. I found a locked room in the middle of the mine. Okay, that's locked. There's no way we could... There's absolutely no way we could jump up, grab the pole, and just kind of swing ourselves over. Yeah, we're gonna need to find a key for that. It's not... Don't even think about doing that. It's not gonna happen. Okay, office. I still want to see the office. Oh, workshop. Yes. We located the office. The Empire typewriter. No, you don't save your game with it. What are you thinking about? Rotting wooden shelves. Must be from added moisture from that crate. This whole room is putrefying. Alright. There's another flare. Yeah, we can pick it up. Now we should still have 3. Yeah. It's locked. We need a key. Luckily... Yeah, this is one of the gameplay elements that this game absolutely shares with Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Drag open cabinets, see what's inside. Beef jerky. Oh! Did we run out of the flare? I think we ran out of the flare. Let's just put it there. That's probably not a safety hazard. Lots of notes. Can we look at the notes? No. Can't look at the files either. Some more beef jerky. Light. I miss being outside already. This place is starting to get to me. But even if I could reach that crate, it looks built into the rock itself. No way it's coming loose. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna escape through that. A chest for storing valuables? No, we just need a key. Oh, that's convenient. A smaller key for a locker or container. Okay, so I played up to this point. There's a lot of reading involved. But let's first pick up Backstrin. I do not know what Backstrin is. I have no idea what it is. I have never ever heard of backstrin. I tried looking that up. I didn't get any hits besides involving this game. So I'm assuming it's something they made up. More batteries. I'm not sure if I can get to anything. If there's anything in these lockers, I can get to them. Okay, so we found the key. Let's, you know, there's all these notes, but let's open the chest first, shall we? So, I should have started with the easy ones, actually. Let's come back to that one. I thought there was something else in there. It's the big book on explosives. Bactrim contains a combination of sulfrex. Okay, a chat is informing me about Bactrim. But look, you see, is it Bactrim or Baxtrin? I didn't get any hints from that. I guess it's not that important. It's a picture of British platoon. It must date back to World War II. I suppose this mine was converted into some kind of a bunker. Converted from what? Into a bunker during World War II. Alright. We got the Copenhagen Post, Monday 17th, August 1930. Psychotropic deposits at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mine-altering chemicals naturally sewn into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at a Greenland mine. The university, which has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of the northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally higher suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high, at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace, compared to the national average of 29. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the miners symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that natural deposits of lysergic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rocks. Few locals were conducive to interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Inuit spirits, known as the Turndgait, live in the mountains. The university is awaiting the results of chemical testing. Studies continue. So, there are two things I want to point out in this. One, demographically speaking, this is actually a pretty good way of presenting data. At 46 deaths per 100,000. Furthermore, I know for a fact that Greenland has a pretty high suicide rate. What I didn't know initially was that it's usually during summer, which some studies cite that it's because of the insomnia caused by the constant sunlight, which is I don't know, it's a pretty good explanation. So anyway, this is just something that sticks out like a sore thumb to me, even though it's not at all pertinent to what we're doing. But seeing a detail like this, I don't know, it just gets me it just gets me the right way. Furthermore, I have to deduct points here, because this came out in 1930, and it talked about lysergic acid. Speaking of having hallucinogenic properties, they're obviously referring to lysergic acid diethylamide, or LSD, but that wasn't discovered until the late 1930s, and I don't think they discovered the hallucinogenic properties until the 40s. But you know, I'm nitpicking, but this is just something that immediately hit me reading this document. This is something I have to mention. It's probably not important at all to the game. Anyway, we have an officer's log from 1945, so during the Second World War. Commander Bunker, Emergency Airstrip Zulu, weekly report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runaway maintenance completed. I've ordered maintenance be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. Oh, I guess this guy's British. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop/armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this, in that I allowed them to access the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that's where they learned the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up that manual in the chest in my office, and I will keep the key on my person at all times. Or, just in the same drawer you keep this document in. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hand. That is cold. That is ice cold. This base is so disconnected sometimes. I feel as if this war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets. Not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. 1 industrial ice pick for removing that damn ice that forms on the external You don't need an industrial ice pick for that. What you do is you pick up a rock off the ground and you toss it at the ice. You don't even need momentum. I did it with fingers that will have frozen. You don't need an industrial ice pick for this. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C, an order for myself. My glasses are in rather poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. 1 point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth, and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. So this is presumably the archaeological find. We can interact with it. A man, an old man, clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before. Still, I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Ugh! What the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. What, touching the ancient artifact from which the light emanates constantly? So this is something that they obviously brought over to Amnesia. The Dark Descent, in the very least. That's the one I've played. So it's pretty cool to know. It's a mechanic they've brought over from their first game over to that. It also serves as a save point, I think. It's an old artifact. Anything else here? Pretty sure I checked these. So, okay, we did a lot of reading. We did pick up the explosives book. It's 5 pages long. It talks about the black match fuse, speaks of the materials required, string, preferably cotton, black gunpowder, backstring. We got backstring. So we have that. So I'm guessing this is what we're going to do when we're going to do it. There's talks about dynamite and goes into lengthy detail as to its history. I don't think we're going to get nitroglycerin for this. Or diatomaceous earth. I'm not sure. And it talks about TNT and Armstrong's mixture. I was thinking about reading this out loud, but really, I will. If you want to read this, you can do that. You can totally do that. Just stop the video and read it. It's a pretty lengthy way of giving us ingredients for something we maybe have to do later, which I kind of appreciate, I guess. I think that does it for The Office. Alright. So I'm gonna trying to strike a balance between having the flashlight in my inventory because of battery power and having it out because this game's dark. It's pretty dark. I'm playing in a dark room so I can make out what's in here, but I just can't wait for here for whatever the surrounding corner need to hide. It's a dog. It's a terrifying, terrifying dog. If we look at the dog, Jesus, I've never been scared in my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything gets within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I better not just stare it out. Anything within my field of vision might panic me, and then I'm a goner. So, okay, we can't look at the monstrosity, the terrible dog in the mine. I'm still not sure why we're in the mine. But we're in the mine, and there's a dog that scares the hell out of us. Initially, I thought also darkness would make us go crazy, because that was the thing in Amnesia, and I never cared for it. I think it was really tacky. It just made the gameplay not fun. And I don't know. You see, I'm just simply not scared of the dark, so I don't understand it. But this game seems to heavily build on the fact that you really don't like dark. You hate the dark. You're scared of the dark. There's something scary in here. It's a dog. We need to avoid the dog. And I've never been scared in my whole life. Okay, I can maybe understand that. Here we are in the storage room. Got cans of something. No lighting in this room. Great paint. This is some great paint right here. Ice white. Anemic red. Just old paint cans dried up a long time ago. But these two get a specific description. I don't think we're gonna use them, but okay. Ow. Didn't mean to hit my face. If this lighter wasn't empty, it would be a handy thing to have. And now we're hearing voices in the dark. Looked from the other side. That does mean that there's someone still inside? I can hear chattering. Thank God. Maybe I can get some answers. Why won't you open the door? Why won't you open the door? Why are you muttering by yourself in the dark? We could mutter together. The two of us. New shoes. We don't need shoes. We don't have legs. No need for shoes when you don't have legs. It's locked. Won't be going there. Let's see, I think we got a note. There's a locked door with odd noises coming from behind it in the storage. Yeah, some heaving. Oh, and there was the thing on the wall. This shows some kind of trap door, but I can't see where it would be. Okay, that bottom one I don't get, but apparently something, whatever that is, that's not good for you, I think. There's a square with three round objects leading to a trapdoor. could it be? That's how you open a door. Painkillers, more battery, and yet another of these archaeological things. It was different, but the same that time. Like I had more control, but over what? I feel like the whispering. I like whispering from the void, the demonic voices from the abyss. So, yep, that's the puzzle. 3 things. 3 round things in a square. Can I look at that? It looks like someone's removed a ladder from these hooks with a pretty blunt saw. It's a weird thing to pay attention to. Reams of wiring. I don't know if we can do anything with those. It looks as if this basement caved in some years ago. Something's tunneled through here more recently, though. Christ, what sort of creature makes these markings? What markings? Are there markings? Can you tell me more about the markings made by whatever creature passed through here? I assume you're not talking about this. That's a cobweb. Christ, was that a spider? I don't like spiders. We're terrified of those 8-legged monstrosities. See, I get it. I know people who have arachnophobia, and it's nothing to laugh at. But at the same time, I don't have arachnophobia. Spiders don't instill fear in me. A ladder. Why would someone bring a ladder here? Why is there a ladder here? Guess we have nothing here. I like the lighting in this area. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that this is extremely dark, I like that it kind of reminds me of Thief in a way. The old Thief games. A horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified, or else that smell would have been awful. But yeah, in a way, it kind of gives me a Thief vibe. I like the ambient too. The atmosphere is pretty good. The gameplay, well, I think we'll figure that out later. Dry, dusty old bags. Oh, I thought it would be a cocoon of spiders, and we'd freak out over it. Don't look at it too long, it's gonna freak you out. Oh god, here we go. Give me a sec. Day 1. I begin this record, still in the hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value, despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous. My aim is to remain secure until what help there may be arrives, and to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that a meager food rations here will keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. It's almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here, and now 30 years on, fate has struck again. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out in search of them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I have found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I believe now is most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine, the key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered the storeroom, and I think it could keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learned, I will not venture out again until I am certain that the area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic, supplies diminishing. Lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed 8-legged beasts nestling in my open mouth when I woke up this morning. In my surprise, I swallowed it. It's not so much the act of swallowing which concerns me, but the genus of arachnid. It would be unlikely that a cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. Is this guy gonna end up eating spiders? Day 35. Any known venom would have affected me by now, and so today is my first minor cause for celebration I have had since the incident. By a lucky coincidence, this revelation also means I have discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of Yeah, he's gonna eat spiders. I intend to venture into the basement beneath the storeroom in the name of science to discover more about these creatures' natural habitat. Yeah. This guy's gonna start shoveling spiders in his mouth. Day 50. For 4 days now, I have been surviving solely off the quite considerable sustenance provided by the spiders. For some time I was struggling to gather enough of the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled on me once more when the batteries in my torch died and I made a second life-saving finding. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. With my light now diminished, I need only lie still for a few minutes, and I will have attracted enough of the beasts for a rather hearty meal. Yum yum. I suppose with that, we're gonna continue looking through the mines. The steam could blister flesh from bone in an instant. I know, I've seen it happen. So probably gonna have to avoid this thing. Anything else here that I may have missed? This is just gonna lead back to where I came. There's the ladder. It's still mummified. It hasn't come back to life. Did it actually get caught by the cobweb? I wonder. There's this thing. Nothing we can do about that. I feel as if I'm going in circles here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Hold on. Oh, wait. There's like a... Yeah, there's a gap. We can make it through the steam. Just gotta time it right. Oh, it still hit me. So you could get past those by waiting. If it weren't for the size of the pieces, I would say that it looks like eggshells. Right here in the middle of the cobwebs. Are we gonna see a giant spider? I hope we are. Day 71. My earlier assumptions on the benign nature of my cellmates may have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I'm concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. 1. I have no source of light. 2. I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. 3. The spiders are so tasty. Day 100. Man, this guy is a survivor. From the marks I've been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which in the dark may amount to an illegible scrawl, today is the 100th day of my new life. You know, I think that's a pretty stable handwriting for some if you're doing it in the dark. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive and have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I am unsure. However, at this rate of growth, they will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. For all I know, I could only be seen the tip of the iceberg. If all fails, and I am never recovered, I hope at least that my study of, and indeed involvement with, these fascinating creatures will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there more through fluke than talent, and it appears that this rule has extended itself to my discovery of this delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule deems my breakthrough too insignificant, for all great discoveries tend to consume their inventor. I think that's foreshadowing. I think he got ate by spiders. It was gonna end that way no matter what. He didn't have a chance to begin with. Do we have a cave in? Should we be here? We probably shouldn't be here. Finally, this must be all that's left of the basement storage. That locks look rather worse for wear. Does that mean we can maybe hammer it down? A lighter refill canister. Hey, we need that. We need that for a lighter. Fluid lighter gas. It's a lighter refill canister. So we just, I guess, drag it. This should fire up. Alright. We got a Zippo lighter. It's filled up and ready to burn. Let's see. Oh, we can't actually use it. If we press the button, we can use it on something. It's a quest item. Hospital gray. I wonder if that's a real color. I would hope not. It doesn't look like I can do anything with that. This is all new to me. I didn't make it this far in my previous playthrough, in my testing of this game. But I mean... Oh, we got the lighter fluid. That's pretty good. Are we gonna burn down a huge cobweb? Ow. Death is the final unknown. You know, I probably should have stopped there for a second just to see. I didn't expect you to kill me just like that, but I guess he was right. It just tears your flesh off the bone. Alright, so we're not too far off, I think. I'm not sure what we got. Do we have the... Oh, man. We have to go back to get all those things. What can I say? I'm a fast reader. Took some damage there. Oh, that's not good. I wonder why it's so difficult all of a sudden. I didn't have any problems timing that the first time through. Okay, see, I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good timing. I don't see what I did differently from the time that I actually pulled that off. I can use the sprint key right down here, but all it does is create this weird stutter you're seeing. It doesn't actually help me go any faster. I don't suppose. Yeah, that's just a ladder. Just a ladder in the caves. Okay, let's try timing it differently then. A little bit earlier, I suppose. Like right now? Alright, there we go. We just need to... Yeah. Oh, okay, that was my bad. That was my bad. But clearly, it doesn't work the way you would think it works. Smash. Okay, grab the fluid. Oh. Can't take it with our left hand. Have our Zippo lighter. There's the hospital gray. There's the batteries. We're at 51%. We're doing pretty well. Okay, now we just need to make it out of here alive. Oh. Nope. Took a hit. This is the other note we got. Oh, no, no, don't. Whew, okay, we didn't die. That's good news. But we're not doing great. Let's take some painkillers. How do we take them? Press 4. Yep, I guess that works. Stuff those painkillers in your face. And these third-degree burns, they just go away. They just go away. Somebody's having a good time. I can't jump here. Is this not the right way? You would think it's the right way. We got a cutscene and all. But can't you just pull yourself up? Just it's not that high. It's a little bit above eye level. You could probably pull yourself up. But I guess we're not doing that. I guess we need to find another way. Oh. Can of sardines or whatever. It's probably not gonna help us. Was there another path? I think, like right there, was that just, that's just the eggshell, and to the right we only had the storage, and over here just these dry, dusty old bags. Can we burn them? Yeah, I think that was a little far-fetched. So what can we burn? Okay, I just want to double check. Was there anything here? Can I make it out through there? I don't think I can. Does it look like I fit? Yeah, yep, been here. Been there a couple of times now. We still haven't seen any spiders, which is kind of surprising. We just saw the one spider. That was a cutscene spider. It wouldn't do a thing to us. What hit me? I don't suppose we're gonna burn these. That makes no sense. Nope. So, yep, this is pretty much the same as Amnesia, I'd say. Some adventure game elements tied to a horror, survival horror setting. And sometimes getting hopelessly lost in the process. Oh, took another hit there. That was unnecessary. Can I make it? No, I can't make it through. Okay, you know what? I think that's gonna do it for Penumbra Overture for the time being. I don't know. It definitely shares those gameplay elements from Amnesia that I don't like. I didn't like about that game. It has a lot of exposition, and I'm not sure if all of it really relates to the story, but there's a lot of exposition here, and I don't know. I don't hate that. It's a little bit unfair to me what I'm supposed to do now. In fact, I'm not sure what we're doing in this bunker. Did the map we got from our father that came with the letter that told me to burn this document, that he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do himself. He wouldn't burn it. He let it be somebody else's problem. We're following that. We're in a bunker. We're trying to find out something of our past. I know. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But I'm not that convinced. I'm not that convinced this is going to be a great time all the way through. But we're going to give it a shot another time. Right now, I don't think I can take this anymore. Let's see. It's saved. Oh boy, it's saved a long time ago. Yep. You know, it's not terrible. It hasn't been a terrible experience. I just hope I can figure out a way to actually progress and not be stuck in the spider caverns for the rest of eternity. That's all I'm asking. It's not. I don't think that's a whole lot, and it may be something obvious I'm missing. So, no definitive judgment on this game as of yet. We're gonna have to figure this one out. Play it a little more. But that's it for Penumbra, for the time being. I guess we're gonna do this in the near future, because like I said, this has been had this backlog for such a long time that I really want to see where this takes me, and hopefully move on to the rest of the Penumbra series. Anyway, that's all I got for now, so tune in next time for Penumbra Overture. Hopefully we'll find more about the guy who ate spiders. We'll see.